Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of Dungeon Degenerates. It's been quite a while, but I was really sick like a dog, really fighting the flu badly, to be honest. But yeah, I'm now really happy to continue my playthrough of Dungeon Degenerates, and we are in the second mission, and one of our goals is to explore one of those clue or locations with a clue counter on it. So we have one at here at the watchtower, which is a good thing, so we don't need to spend too many movement in order to get there. But it's not 100% sure that we will be able to find what we are looking for under one of those clue tokens. There's another one up there in the bandit camp and one down here at Tower Island. I'm pretty sure we will not be able to get to all of those locations, so one of those three really has to be it. Ideally one of the three that are basically in the, I think it's the Highlands. And the reason why I chose to move up there, because we could also, let's say, find our objective through a random encounter up there in the Highlands. So we have basically three potential ways in order to complete this scenario. We only need to fulfill one of those goals. As the corpse burner has the highest morale in the party, I'm not planning to separate the party for now. He will be the party leader. And I think we really want to get moving. So he decides to go in the bold stance, which allows us to entirely move along this road here. If we would have, let's say, moved cautiously, we would only be allowed to move basically onto the road, and then with our next turn onto the east bridge. But I think in this case, let's go for it. Let's do a force march and move our characters here to the east bridge. But now both of the characters have to pass a constitution test in order to avoid getting fatigued. So let's do that for the corpse burner real quick. So we want to roll lower or equal to an 8. That's an 11, definitely not good enough. So he becomes fatigued, which pretty much only means that he cannot do a force march until he rests again. Let's do the same for the Hinterlander. That's a 5, good enough. But the problem is I really want to keep both of those guys together, so whoever is fatigued will not be able to do a force march, and this will slow down the whole party. Of course, they could split up, but I think it's not a good idea in a 2-player game. Okay, next we have to resolve our danger card, and what happens here? Oh, pretty sure we will see some action now. Goblin warbands hunt for slaves and plunder, their war horns resounding across the wasteland. Okay, first of all, we have to increase the danger level up here in the wasteland, which isn't a bad thing, to be honest. And then we have to compare the danger level of the card to the danger level of the location we are in. Right now we are at Eastbridge, and Eastbridge sharing the danger level of the Witchwood. So this is a 4. The card is lower than or equal to the danger level. So we have to fully resolve it here, which means we will see an encounter card. And as we are 2 party members, we also have to fight 2 standard foes here. Awesome stuff. Okie dokie, let's start with our Lowlands encounter cards, and in most cases they come with 2 sections on this card. So this is for outside locations, this is for inside locations. We check the code here, this is an outside location, so we do the, let's say, the uppermost encounter here, which is the hallowed ground. It's resolved immediately. This is really something which we have to do before we actually engage the monsters, and often they more or less make the encounters with the monsters a little bit more difficult. So let's see what we have here. The ground before you is awarded with magical sigils. Some eldritch spirit of death is imprisoned here, and only a fool would dare to disturb it. Each adventurer in this space must make a magic or morale test. If you have warding, we don't have that. If you fail, lose 1 luck. If any adventurer fails, increase the danger level in this space. Okay, this is something that's a bit nasty, but let's see. I think the party leader will go first, and as his morale is way higher than his magic, we will definitely go for the morale test here. Again, we are looking for an 8 or lower. Are you kidding me? So he just lost his last remaining luck, which is really a pity. And this also means that the danger level of the Witchwood will go up accordingly. And we still have to roll for the Hinterlander. And I guess here it's also pretty clear he will go for a magic test. So 7 or less it is. Yes, wow. He's really doing great. So he's not losing any luck. But unfortunately, we already had to increase the danger level here. Okay, next we would draw our 2 monsters. And now it's getting a little bit nasty here. We have the Sexdwarf with Rally and the Taunt ability. We will check those abilities in a second. And our second monster is the Black Wizard, who has the Command and the Summon special ability. Both not really nice. And yeah, both of them are really tough to deal with, to be honest. The Taunt ability is the easiest one here, because it simply means if this monster is targeting you, you cannot target another monster. It's taunting you. Rally, and they both come with Rally, means hey, they bring someone to the party. So we will draw 2 more monsters, so 1 per each of those. And this guy is also nasty because he has the Command ability, which gives him attack +1 to monsters that have a lower experience value here, like the Sexdwarf here, for example. And they share at least one of those keywords, and that's cult. So they get a +1 attack right now. And on top of this, they also have summon. So at the end, or if he's still alive at the end of a round, he would then bring another guy to the party. So wow, this can be really devastating. But let's deal with the Rally ability first. So let's see, draw 1 for the Black Wizard here. Okay, that's a Goat Brute. And let's see, I think he also brings something with it. Cult. Yeah, he also gets an attack +1. And we will draw 1 for the other guy here. And that's a Cultist. Oh man, he brings another Summon ability. Wow, okay, this will be a tough one. Let's see who those guys will attack. So both of the guys, the Cultist and the Goat Brute, they will definitely go to the Corpse Burner, having the highest morale. He will go to the Hinterlander, having the highest magic value, and here we have the highest strength. That's also the Corpse Burner. Wow, he has to deal with 3 enemies, whereas the Hinterlander only, wow, has to deal with his Black Wizard. Okay, this will be definitely a tough one. And then we start with the Hinterlander. He's having the highest perception, even though he's half blind, his perception is still higher than the perception of the Corpse Burner, and I think he will go for an assault stance. And of course he only has 1 target, so he will announce the Black Wizard. If he would be able to get rid of the Black Wizard, not really likely, to be honest. Yeah, it's much easier for the Corpse Burner because this guy is adding +1 attack to all, most of, I think, no, I think to all of the other guys. So I think it's really worth to try to get rid of that Black Wizard as soon as possible. So let's prepare the dice tower. Those are the attack dice, the power dice, and his defense dice. He will attack with agility because he's using his bow here, his hunting bow, and his agility is higher than the strength. So let's see what we roll. And this is, oh, kind of a good roll. So he was definitely able to hit the Black Wizard with 3 points pretty much, but unfortunately he rolled a 9 on his defense roll, so he's not able to defend from the Black Wizard. I could now decide to re-roll 1 of my dice by spending 1 luck, and I think I will do that. So let's spend 1 luck, and I think I want to re-roll this 5 up there, my defense die. I really don't want to get too many hits right now. So let's see, that's a 4, which is perfect. This matches my agility of 8, so we were able to defend from the Black Wizard. He has an attack of 4, our highest die is a 4, so we are not taking any hits, which is great. And he, on the other hand, now takes 3 hits in total. He still needs 2 more, so he will summon 1 more time. So we will see yet another enemy appearing at the end of this round. Whoa, this will be tough. But first of all, we have to deal with the Corpse Burner. The thing is, I could re-roll again and hope that we are rolling a 5. The problem is we really need a 5, not a 4, not a 2, not a 6, because with a 6 we would miss and then we would it wouldn't do any hits. So I think the chances are relatively low. It's really exactly a 5. No, I think not. Luck is too important for now, so let's not spend any more luck on this. But instead, let's focus on the corpse burner, who has to deal with the cultist, the sex dwarf, and the gold brute, who have all a +1 attack because of the command ability of the black wizard. And he has the berserk ability, so he brings yet another 2 points worth of attack to the table. So I think for the corpse burner, it's pretty obvious. He has to go to the guard stance here in order to hope that maybe his power die will help him somewhat. This is really a pity because his ferocious charge ability only helps him when he goes to the assault stance, but I think he really needs to hope for some defense. Yeah, that's what he has to do. So let's roll his dice. Of course, he has to target this guy here because of the taunt ability. He has a health points of 4, though there is a chance that we might be able to take him out. So yeah, let's roll the dice and hope that he will be able to meet his agility test here in order to really reduce the damage as much as possible. This looks okay-ish, to be honest. Yes, that's a 5, perfect. So he was able to defend. He, of course, had to use his strength value of an 8, which is also good. So he was also able to take out the sex dwarf. And yeah, the power die is pretty much useless in this case. But because he defended successfully, we can pretty much take our highest defense die and reduce the attack damage by that value here. He has an attack of 4, pretty much cancelled. Awesome. Same for the sex dwarf. He has a 7, so unfortunately the corpse burner takes 3 points worth of damage, but that could have been much worse. And what's really important is he was able to take out one of his enemies. Awesome job. This is the end of the combat round, and because we have the black wizard with us and he has the summon ability, we have to bring another monster to the fight. And here we have, okay, he's simply weird. I'm not even trying to understand what's here. He will target the character with the lowest magic value, which is again the corpse burner. He has the curse ability, so he has to roll against his, I think, magic value in order not to get demoralized. And yeah, he can be evasive and he will pursue you, so you cannot really escape from this guy. Okay, let's assign this weird fellow to the corpse burner. Accordingly, he has to roll his magic test. And here we have to hope for a 5 or less. Are you kidding me? No, not even close. So the corpse burner is not only fatigued, he's now also demoralized. So he suffers 1 point of moral loss, which is okay, I guess, for now. But yeah, there are definitely some things or some tests you have to do against your morale, of course. And I nearly forgot, of course, we have the cultist with us. He also has the summon ability. So yeah, we will see yet another monster. And here we have the Skinwalker, which is an undead monster with a fear ability. He will now go for the characters with the highest health. This is the Hinterlander now, so he has to deal with 2 enemies. And yeah, let's deal with the fear. The good thing is the corpse burner is carrying the death mask here, so he's immune to fear and necro from the undead. Other monsters with fear affect you normally, but this was an undead monster, so he doesn't have to roll a morale test. But unfortunately, the Hinterlander doesn't have a death mask with him, so he has to do a morale test of only a 6. Oh man, awesome, he made it. Perfect, really great. So yeah, I think let's assign the monster accordingly. He has now the black wizard and the skinwalker, and then we can directly start our next round of combat. And now I have to start thinking if I want to keep him in the assault stance or if I want him to go into the guard stance. Now he's dealing with 2 monsters, but he really wants to get rid of that black wizard, and the power die could make the difference here. But I think better safe than sorry. So let's switch into the guard stance for this round of combat. Of course, he still wants to target the Black Wizard here because of the command ability, which doesn't affect the Skinwalker, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we definitely still want to get rid of the Black Wizard first. This would have been, or would be, good news for the Corpse Burner. So let's roll some dice and hope for the best. Again, he will always attack with agility, so I will really tell you, it really makes sense for him. So let's see what he rolls. He defended great, he hit him great, and the power dice is also would help him in respect to defense here, but I think in this case he should be good. So the Black Wizard is definitely dead. He has an attack of 4. He rolled, his highest die is a 4, so he's not suffering any wounds from him. The same is true for the Skinwalker here, so this defense was perfectly okay. And yeah, we already resolved the attack. That's a 4. He had 2 points worth of damage left, so he was able to take out the Black Wizard, which is really great news for the Corpse Burner, who still has to deal with 3 enemies. I think he will stick to the guard stance as well. He will attack the weird guy here because he has this evade or pursue ability. No, maybe he will go for the cultist instead. The chances are better that he will be able to take out the cultist here, because if I roll doubles, then this evade ability would trigger and I would not be able to hit it. No, let's go for the cultist. We really want to reduce the amount of enemies. Again, he will be in guard stance. He will use his strength for the attack. Yeah, that's the case. So let's see what we roll. Okay, that's okay. So he was able to defend and he was also able to attack, but that's not good enough to take out the cultist, because his highest attack die is a 3. But let's deal with our own damage here first. So that's a 3 in this case. Only the Gold Brute was able to do some damage. He has an attack of 4. Berserk no longer triggers in this case, so he has an attack of 3 because the command ability is out. Here we have an attack of 3, though those guys do not do any damage, but the Gold Brute hits our poor Corpse Burner for yet another point of damage. Let's assign some damage now. And again, we take our highest attack dice here. And yeah, therefore we assign 3 points worth of damage to the cultist here. Unfortunately, not enough to take him out, but we will definitely be able to do so, or hopefully be able to do so during the next round of combat, which we can start right away. So we will no longer see any summon abilities or whatnot. And again, we will start with the Hinterlander having the highest perception. And I guess he will move back to the assault stance now. And yeah, we'll try to take out that Skinwalker. I think we didn't see any drain or slime abilities. Those only trigger when he does some actual points of damage, which he didn't do, which is great. So yeah, let's roll our dice. And in this case, yes, we will get hit. That's really not beautiful, but at least this die was good. So first of all, we have to deal with our defense die. Now I'm really thinking if I should re-roll that die here in order to hope for a better defense, to be honest. Because getting slimed means we get -1 agility, which is definitely nothing we want to do. No, I think that's really too important. So let's spend 1 more luck. Let's re-roll that single green die here. That's a 3, much better. And yeah, that's perfectly fine in this case. Awesome job, Hinterlander. So he's not taking any damage. He has an attack of 3, 3 blocks 3, perfectly fine. We inflicted 2 wounds, but our power dice shows a 5, and because we are in assault stand, this will then basically replace our highest attack dice, or can replace our highest attack dice, which in this case means we definitely took out the Skinwalker. Awesome job, Hinterlander. Let's get back to the Corpse Burner. He will stay at guard stance, and yeah, I think he will have to continue fighting the cultists. He really has to get rid of monsters soon. Maybe waste, but yeah, let's hope for the best. Again, he will stick to his guard stance. He's rolling for strength. His agility is a 7 for his defense. That's okay. He was able to defend, but he was not able to attack. Wow, what a waste. good thing now is he definitely managed to pass his test, and his power die is a 6, and now he's in guard stance. So this die will now replace this die, which is perfect for him, because a 6 means he's not taking a single point of damage. But I was really hoping that he would be able to get rid of the cultist this turn. Oh man, this really sucks. So let's start another round of combat, and again we would start with the Hinterlander, and as the Hinterlander doesn't have any enemies with him, he can now target one of the monsters, targeting the corpse burner in this case. And I think in this case, why not go for this weird guy here with a health of 4? Yeah, let's go for it. He can definitely stick to the assault stance here because no one is targeting him. So yeah, let's simply roll. His agility is still an 8. And awesome job! Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's an 8, and the highest die is a 5, which is definitely enough to take out that weird guy here. Great job, which only leaves 2 enemies for the corpse burner now, and I think he let's stick to the guard stance one more turn. Yeah, because anyway, if he doesn't hit, then he won't be able to get rid of the cultist anyway. And yeah, let's attack the cultist, and let's hope for something good. That's an 8, definitely good enough. His strength is an 8. He rolled a 7, which is also good enough. Unfortunately, no, that's good enough, because the corpse burner also only hits with a 4, which is great. We rolled an 8, which is good enough. This is a 5, and definitely good enough to take out the cultist here as well. Awesome job. And I think this should be more or less the last round of combat. It's again the Hinterlander. He will now target the Gold Brute with his agility. He will stick to the assault stance. Doesn't really make a big difference here. So he would have been able to defend. He was able to attack with a 4. The Gold Brute has an armor of 1, so this pretty much moves over this 3-pointer here to the Gold Brute. And I think next we will see the corpse burner. He will also switch to the assault stand. He will attack the Gold Brute now with a strength of 8. That's good enough. Oh wow, awesome roll. Now his power dice is working for his attack, so it's now 4 points worth of damage. -1 armor is free, but that's still good enough to kill that Gold Brute. Awesome job. It really didn't look good for a moment, but they were really able to get rid of their enemies. A lot of them, actually. Okie dokie, let's do some looting. The corpse burner gets 1, 2, 3 experience points, and also 1, 2, 3 gold coins in total. Now we can make a loot roll. So if it would roll a 3 or less, so pretty much the sum of the experience points we got from this fight, we can draw a loot card. So let's see, that's a 3. Okay, awesome. And now we can decide if we want to draw a loot card. Why should we decide? Because this could lead yet to another fight, but I think I feel brave enough, so let's simply draw our very first loot card here. And here we found a shoddy shield, -1 agility. This is good and bad. But if we are in the guard stance, we would roll an additional power die, which could then really help us defending. So overall, not too bad. If we would roll a 12 on the defense while using this item, we would discard it. It's a heavy item, but the good thing is the corpse burner is burly, so we are allowed to carry an additional heavy item. By the way, the grave shovel is also a pretty heavy item. This shield has a requirement of strength 7, which isn't a problem for the corpse burner, of course. Then we do the looting for the Hinterlander. He collected 4 points worth of skill points, 1, 2, 3, 4, or experience points in this case, and he also collected 3 points worth of gold. And yeah, let's do the loot roll as well. Now we are looking only for a 4 or less, but again, keep in mind, also bad things can happen. No, that's a 5, so he was not able. His special ability doesn't trigger, and I also checked the corpse burner. He would gain 1 luck if he would have destroyed any undead. And the problem is The Hinterlander killed the undead enemy. Kind of a pity, but yeah, we will not complain too much. Anyway, the problem is the corpse burner really took some serious beating here. And I think we really have to start resting soon. It's still okay. Main problem is he also has the fatigue and the demoralized condition. So originally I was really thinking of giving those trail rations to the corpse burner, then he would be able to discard the fatigue condition. But being demoralized, fatigued, and having lost 4 health points in total isn't really a good thing for our next fight. So I think let's go into the next round, and I think we are going to rest. So this is my combat stance. So let's move or go to the cautious map stance now, because I think I only want to rest, and I also want to train one of my characters. Maybe both of them can train. I have to have a look at that, but I definitely have something in mind for the corpse burner. So let's go for rest action. Because we are at cautious stance, we can only recover and improve, so pretty much spend XP to learn a skill or mastery. So we cannot explore, we cannot invest, we cannot trade. We are definitely going low profile here. The Hinterlander doesn't have to roll for recover, which is the required action, so we don't need to do that. Doesn't have any conditions whatsoever. We don't have any hit points lost, so let's simply roll our morale test for the corpse burner. He's still demoralized, so he's only rolling a 7 now, which is good enough. Awesome. So he can now recover up to 7 points of morale or hit points, which is good enough. So this brings him back to 16, and next we can get rid of all of our tokens here, which was definitely the plan after all. Awesome roll, corpse burner. And of course I was doing this wrong. I just see that of course I should have moved my wound marker up and not my hit point value though, but in this case it didn't really matter, to be honest. So he's still going back now to 0 hit points, so sorry for that. And now he's going to spend his 6 experience points, and the idea is to have the corpse burner learn the gourmet skill. At the end of a fight, you may consume 1 brute, filth, or goblin that your party destroyed. If you do, make a contest. If you pass, recover wounds equal to your lowest single die. If you fail, you become poisoned. That's so fun ability or skill. I really wanted to learn this, and it really makes sense for the corpse burner in a way. And one thing that I also just figured out, he's not able to use the shield because this is a left-handed item, which makes sense, and the grey shovel, it's two-handed. So yeah, he cannot use it in a fight, so we may hand it over. No, even the Hinterlander cannot use it. He's using his hunting bow, which is also two-handed, of course. So yeah, that's a pity. Maybe we'll go and sell this somewhere in a city later on. Unfortunately, there are no skill cards in the deck that you can get for only 5 skill or experience points. So I think this is really something that we may have to do after the next round of fight, if he was able to collect some more XPs. Okay, that's pretty much the end of our rest phase. So let's go to the danger phase. And wow, another very, very bad card for us. Infernal demons bent on conquest march to battle from out of the unfathomable depths of the hell pit, which now has a danger level of 6 already. So the next time this goes up, the Hand of Doom will appear for the first time. We are still in an outside location. Our danger level is a 5 here at the Witchwood or at the East Bridge. So yes, again we have to resolve this, and again we have to resolve an encounter card, and we have to deal with 4 enemies here. This is really, really insane. Let's draw our encounter card first. And as we are still outside, we would resolve the eerie silence section of the card. We would resolve it immediately. You freeze in your tracks as the air around you falls silent. The rustling of tree limbs in the wind and the constant buzzing of insects have suddenly ceased. If you are in cautious stance, which we are, awesome job, you are immune to ambush this turn. Okay, that's actually a good thing. But of course we still have to deal with 4 enemies now. Are you kidding me? Okay, here we have the Mega Rat. Has the infectability. He will go for the highest agility, which is the Hinterlander. Then he have the Wormusguard. Here he will go for the highest constitution. That's both characters with an 8. I have to check on how to resolve those ties. Then we have the Vampire Thrall. He will go to the lowest con, so pretty much the same tie. I think I get to choose, to be honest. And here we have the Wolfman. He goes to the character with the lowest perception, which is definitely the Corpse Burner. And yes, I get to choose on how to resolve ties. I think I will send the Vampire with a skirmish ability. He can pretty much increase the danger level of my region, so I think I really want to get rid of him as soon as possible. Let's move him to the Hinterlander, and yeah, let's go for the Wormusguard. He has the Horde ability. If there are other vermins in the space, which there are, he gets an attack +1. So yeah, let's send this guy. No, I think I will do it. No, it doesn't really matter. Let's send this guy to the Corpse Burner. So the Corpse Burner has to deal with the Wolfman and the Wormusguard. He has the Onslaught ability, so if we ever go to the guard stance, he gets an attack +1. Really not great. We already know about Vermin and we know Pursue. We can pretty much not really escape from a fight with the Wolfman. And on the other side of the ring we have the Mega Rat with the Infect ability. So if we get a wound from this guy, we would get infected. This can be bad, to be honest. Not pretty, and he has a high attack value. And yeah, this guy has the Skirmish ability. So if you're not killing at the end of this round, then yeah, he would pretty much increase the danger level of our current region. Then he would go back to the discard pile. Oh no, I think he goes back to the draw pile, but yeah, doesn't really make a big of a difference. Unfortunately, there wasn't any monster with the ambush ability, so the Eerie Silence doesn't really help us now, but yeah, it could have been worse in respect to those encounters. And then this brings us to the fight, but I think this is really something I want to resolve at the start of my next video, which is hopefully cool with you guys and gals. Yeah, I really hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough of Dungeon Degenerates here. It's really great fun to play this game. And yeah, I hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.